Hi, this is AP Stedham of AP As We See It live in Atlanta, Georgia at the 2025 SEC Football Media Days. We have our friend Courtney's going to tell us about the University of Arkansas Razorbacks. Hey, Courtney, good to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Always great to come on the show and get to chat with you a little bit about Arkansas and what they're looking like this year.
We always start with the quarterback, so Taylon Green.
Yeah, Taylon Green, I mean, obviously the big storyline around him is coming back for another season, going to be under Bobby Petrino for a year or two. And historically, we've always seen quarterbacks take a jump in year two with Bobby. Yes. And so he feels a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable. You saw that in spring where he just feels like, okay, I've had a year to be under him, to learn the system. I've talked to so many different players who say, you know, Bobby, he has a large playbook, and what he does is he starts with all of it, and he whittles it down and down and down until he gets, okay, this is what's going to work for my players, which is why they like him so much. He kind of molds the offense to what he has. And so he is the quarterback whisperer. He has obviously Lamar Jackson, was one of those guys who took a jump under him in year two. But so we're really looking to see how much Taylon Green has progressed. Some of the things I would like to see decision-making wise. That was something he struggled with last year, seeing the field a little bit. Sometimes he would hone in on one receiver, and that's his guy, and defenses would figure it out, right? And so now I'm looking, okay, can we hone down that decision-making and cut down on the turnovers and interceptions, right? That's something he struggled with, even at Boise State. His touchdown to interception ratio, not great. We talked about that last year. So something I'm looking for him to improve on, that decision making. But what we've seen in spring, looking good so far.
How's his accuracy? You think it's going to get better?
I think so, because I think now he's had a chance to get out those jitters, right? Yeah. There was a lot of his teammates last year who told me specifically, they said, look, Courtney, he's a great quarterback. He just needs to get out some of these jitters. It's like he's scared to play in the SEC, or he was scared to be that guy, to step up and go, yeah, I am the starting quarterback. What are you going to do about it, right? And so they listened to him. He was a leader on that team. But now I've just seen so much more confidence from him. And so, yes, I do think his accuracy will be a lot better. We saw that in spring. A lot of the videos I have, I was like, man, he is on the money. And I think that shows that's that comfortability under Bobby in year two.
Yeah, he's embracing that role right now.
Yeah.
How's this offensive line? That's Sam Pittman, that's his baby. So can they protect Taylon and provide some openings for the running backs?
Well, that is a big question right there, AP, that we have for Sam Pittman and company today. Taylon feels really confident in the guys. It's kind of funny when all of the offensive linemen kind of, you had some transfer out, you had some graduate, and so you kind of have a new look offensive line. It all starts with Fernando Carmona Jr. He's been getting a lot of preseason love. You probably noticed the USA Today put him as a first-team All-SEC player. So, hey, that's really good. We like to hear that. But that's about it. We don't really know the other guys. They transferred in from so many different places. Shaq McCroy is a guy that you need to keep watch for. He is a guy that came to Arkansas from Oregon, and he is a beast. He is a monster. So I think he's going to be a huge part of that offensive line, and to be able to protect Taylon Green a lot better than maybe the offensive line was able to do last year, because there were moments last year, and anybody who watched an Arkansas game knows this. There were points last year, AP, where Taylon Green was running for his life. And that's where the decision-making, he's going, okay, I'm having to use my legs. And you saw the crazy plays and the athletic ability that Taylon Green has. So with an offensive line that's able to give him more time and able to do those things, hopefully we'll see a better Taylon Green. I will say we haven't seen much from the offensive line in spring practice. That's one of the questions I have for Sam today is how do you feel about the offensive line? Taylon, how do you feel about the offensive line?
More importantly.
More importantly, how do you feel? He feels really confident from what we've seen in spring, from what we've talked with him about in spring. I'd just like to know where he's at going into fall camp. That's one of my questions.
We like the quarterbacks to run, but not for their life.
No. Not a good thing. We like him to run when they're choosing to run and they're taking that option, not when they're running for their life.
No. Who's on the perimeter that is going to provide some fear and some explosiveness for the Razorbacks on the perimeter of the wide receivers.
Another great question, AP. See, now you're probably going, okay, there's a lot of question marks for Arkansas this year. The one question mark, quite a few. One of them is the wide receiver room. You obviously know Andrew Armstrong, the SEC's leading receiver last year, is gone. Well, there's a lot of other wide receivers that have left that room. Arkansas only returns, get this, one guy who caught a touchdown pass for them last year, and it was a guy who plays tight end, Andreas Poska. So that is a very big, who is going to be the guy, right? Who is going to be that Andrew Armstrong? Who's going to fill that hole? We don't know yet. When I was in spring ball, I was looking, okay, is there a guy that Talon likes to throw to? Is there a guy that could be the next Andrew Armstrong? There was a guy. I looked at him, I go, oh, I like that guy a lot. Transfers in from Stanford. His name is Ismail Sissi, and he got hurt. So now we have even more question marks, right? Because he had a wrist injury that's going to require surgery, and we don't have a timetable on that. One of the things that we're going to talk with Sam about today. So is there another guy? They got a few transfers in. Omega Blake is looking good. Cam Shanks is looking good. But we just don't have that guy right now. We don't know. We're going to find that out hopefully in fall camp. If we don't find out in fall camp, I'll tell you, first game of the season, we're going to see who Talon likes to throw to. That's for sure.
Let's go on the other side of the football.
Okay.
Defensively, do you have anybody on the edge that can get to that quarterback and just disrupt him?
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually one thing I'm excited about this year is Arkansas's linebacker core is really, really good. And it all starts with Xavier Sori Jr., and he was there with them last year. It was great for them to retain him and get him back. He's here at Media Days today. Soft-spoken guy, quiet guy, but man, oh man, is he a football player. And he's actually looks like he's filled out a little bit more, been in the weight room and looks really good. I think he's due for a really big year, and that's what he likes to do. He flies around the field, and he just disrupts quarterbacks. That's who he is. That's what he's done last year. There was one time, they call him a magnet to the ball. So he's like, I just see where the ball is, and I go to it. And he just flies over the field. There was one game last year, and I think it was early on in the season. He was on the other side of the field, sees the quarterback scrambling, and I mean, it was like flash. He came in, and I went, how did he get there that fast? How did he do that? So they're going to be looking to utilize him a lot to disrupt quarterbacks. Talking a little bit about disrupting quarterbacks, obviously Landon Jackson no longer with Arkansas. But last year, Landon didn't have a super huge season. That was because AP, if you've watched a lot of Arkansas games, he got double teamed a whole lot. He was stifled. They just said, he's the guy, go and attack him. And that was everybody's game plan for Landon Jackson. It worked, right? He was not able to do much when he was being double teamed the whole time. So who do they have on the defensive line that's going to be, that's going to be the guy or can help there? That's what I'm curious about as well. There's a lot of young faces, a lot of inexperience. And so I think the defensive line is something that we're going to find out. We have questions on the offensive line. We have questions on the defensive line. And so those are two areas that could make or break Arkansas' season if you don't have the talent there. They have the talent there, it's just how are they going to step up for the challenge of this tough, and I mean tough schedule, AP.
Yeah, we're going to discuss one of the non-conference opponents in a few minutes, a few seconds. But the secondary, that's always important.
Oh, yeah.
Pass-happy era. Do they have enough people that can cover on the corners and some support from the safeties?
Yeah. You're going to laugh at me because I'm going to say the same thing. We have questions there as well. So we have one certain about this team, and that's what? Talon Green, right? There's a lot of uncertainty around a lot of position groups, and secondary is one that I'm really looking for a big jump from. They were blasted last year by opponents. They were Arkansas's weakest on defense. They were the weakest on defense out of all the groups. And that was what burned them in so many games. It was just the lack of a good secondary and the lack of good secondary play. And so Arkansas, a bunch of guys hitting the transfer portal there, They're bringing in a bunch of new guys. Someone that even Hugh Freeze mentioned. They brought in an Auburn safety, Caleb Wooden, who's kind of the leader of that group, and he really feels confident that they have made a jump there. They had so many players leave, and that it's, again, so many unknowns. We haven't seen these guys play. We've only seen them in spring ball, and we've only seen a minuscule amount of them in spring ball. And so some of these guys are coming in where it's like, okay, you don't have too many stats. You don't have, we can't go off basically your video from where you were. No, exactly. So you're going in. I kind of feel bad for some of the Arkansas media. You're kind of going in a little bit blind to this season. Besides some of the knowns that you have, which is Taylon Green, Xavier Sorey, that's good.
Yeah.
Cam Ball on the defensive line. You have a few guys like that, but other than that, you're kind of going.
Heightened anticipation
Exactly.
for their fans and the media as well.
Exactly.
I wanted to bring up Notre Dame on this schedule. So those fans from Arkansas, that's surprising they've never played.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That team in Fayetteville, right?
Yes, it's going to be in Fayetteville. So, yes, it's the hottest ticket of the season. I'll tell you this. It's crazy because you would think, there's some SEC games that would maybe trump it. Nope, that's the one game. You cannot get your hands on it. I looked at the ticket prices the other day, $600 and up. I mean, some are in the thousands. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's insane for a Arkansas football game.
Yeah, people have heard about Notre Dame their entire life.
Oh, yeah.
Being from Arkansas, and they had the coach that was at both places. So it's an important matchup. So I know they're looking forward to that. But anyway, Courtney, we want to thank you so much. And Sam Pittman, he always gave me the best line. I asked him about the NIL. He says, if you pay them enough money, they'll live in a teepee.
Oh, they will. Sam Pittman, I'm expecting some good liners from him today. He's always ahead at Media Day, so I'm glad they saved the best for last, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Hey, Courtney, thank you very much. This is AP Stedham live in Atlanta, Georgia from the 2025 SEC Football Media Days. Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.